My principal in elementary school tried teaching me a life lesson, tried teaching all the kids a life lesson by coming to our classroom with a whole bunch of tennis balls. And his little story was, if you can learn to juggle, you can do anything. I already tried juggling as a little kid, and all I did was throw tennis balls everywhere and just knew, I can't do this. Can we just hurry this up so I can go to recess and have some fun, maybe play some kickball, do something. I didn't want to do it. And then I saw my principal take 3 tennis balls and just like magic, just started juggling in front of all the kids while he spoke to us, telling us a quote from Henry Ford: whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way you're right. That didn't really make sense to me as a kid. You're always wrong. So how is he right? It was kind of confusing, but I was amazed at watching him juggle. So even though that day wasn't a success for myself, trying to juggle, it just stuck in my brain on how amazing it was to actually see him pull this trick off. So I didn't want to give up. I wanted to keep trying. Every time I tried though, tennis balls on the floor, I'm not succeeding, and I can't figure out why, but I kept trying. 4th grade, fail, 5th grade, 6th grade. It wasn't until about 7th grade that his words finally resonated with me on what he was trying to say, that if you can learn to juggle, you can do anything. What I started realizing was every time I tried to juggle, in my thoughts, I told myself before I even did it, you can't do this. You're not gonna succeed, you're gonna fail. You wanna know what happened every time I tried? I failed. I didn't succeed, tennis balls everywhere. What am I gonna do to change that? Started thinking. Maybe instead of saying, I can't do this, there's no way I'm gonna achieve this, maybe I should just try saying, you know what, you can do this. You'll get it. Practice, have some patience, but don't give up, and quit calling yourself a failure. Quit saying you can't do it before you actually try, before you actually give it some effort. Believe in yourself. Did it work out right away? No, I started juggling. Got myself a little set like this and started, failed. But what I did to change that was I didn't get upset with myself. I didn't call myself a failure. I didn't say I can't do it. I tried again. A little closer. Still couldn't get it, but I didn't give up. There's a lesson here. I'm getting there. So as a little experiment on trying and trying and trying and failing, I didn't get mad. I got determined. And I kept telling myself, you're gonna get this. You're gonna figure this out. He showed you, you throw one ball, you throw the next ball, you catch, you throw. It wasn't making sense, but the thought behind it started making sense. I started getting a little farther. I started not dropping them as many times, and that still would happen. But don't give up. Don't quit. You're going to get this. You just gotta be patient, and you gotta believe in yourself. You gotta quit being negative. Tell yourself, I can do this. I can achieve this. I'm going to be a success. Sounds silly. That's why it took me a while, because I didn't believe it as a kid, but I had to keep practicing. I had to keep forming new habits to be able to say, I believe in myself. After a little bit of breaking those bad habits and believing in myself, see, I still have a little trouble, but here we go. I started to be able to juggle, and I started to be able to control myself, and I started to be able to have fun with it, and I started believing in myself. I started understanding that you're not a failure just because it didn't work the first time. It didn't work the second time. That it maybe took quite a bit of practice, that I had to keep starting over, and I had to keep telling myself, just try, just believe in yourself. And then it really hit me on what he was trying to do. He was trying to form those positive thoughts in our head. He was trying to build our confidence by taking away all the negative that we inherently, as little kids and as adults, just tell ourselves before we even venture into that. You can't do it. You're a failure. Break those bad habits. You got to start fresh. You got to start with something new. For me, that something new was, you can do this. You've got this. And before you know it, I'm juggling, and I'm so proud of myself. I couldn't wait. As a young man, I'm one of those kids running back to my former elementary school just to find my principal, to tell him that old story from years ago. Guess what? Guess what I learned how to do because of you? He reminded me it really wasn't because of him. It was because of me, because I started believing in myself. I started telling myself the things I needed to hear to believe in myself, that you can do it, that you can succeed. You got this. Now, you might be thinking, can I juggle knives and bowling balls and stuff like that? I didn't really want to. What I wanted to do was prove to myself that I could, where I felt so helpless that I'm never going to be able to learn this. I had to break that bad habit. And once I broke that bad habit, I didn't have those initial thoughts before I started trying something new, before I started making that, decision on, let's do something that normally the old me would say, you're about to fail. Just don't even waste your time. Turn on the cartoons and watch some Tom and Jerry or something, Scooby-Doo or something, have some fun. Don't work, don't try. That's what happens when you have negative thoughts. Putting those positive thoughts in there to say, just give yourself a chance. Now, to this day, I don't do anything with it other than reminding myself that you can do anything. You just have to have that right positive thoughts, that belief in yourself, that it's all worth it. Now, if you need to, just because, you're telling me to juggle, let me at least show you what he had taught me, for myself. You got two in one hand, one in the other. You take one and you throw it till it's right about here. And when that ball gets up to your eyesight right about there, then you take this one and throw it in that direction over here till it's right about there. At that time, this one's going to be up here and this one's going to be dropping right into your hand, and that gives you that chance to take the one that's still in your hand and throw that there. Now maybe you want to slow it down somehow to be able to see that you're just constantly keeping them in the air. It really wasn't difficult, and it's really not that magical. But once you're able to teach yourself to not think negatively, to not put yourself down, you're going to be amazed on what you can do. That was a lesson he was teaching me. That's a lesson I'm sharing with my grandkids today. I hope you enjoy. And please, remember me kindly.